My name is Cindy Marshall, Cindy Laundry Marshall, technically. And I've been a Y member for on and off for many years, starting with when my kids were little. And now I've been really committed over the last 2 years. And I met Mike. We work out together every morning at 8:15, Monday through Friday. I met Mike in the group fitness room.
I'm Mike Matthews. My wife Carol and I joined the Y probably 7 years ago in Tucson. We go back and forth between here and Tucson. Our primary residence is here, so this is our main Y. And yeah, I've played music since my first band was 1973, and I've been doing sound for film and television for, I don't know, the last 10 years, and I kind of gave up music and I wanted to get back into it. And what better place than the YMCA to find your songwriting partner?
Yeah, Mike approached me one day and said he heard that I sang. I had been in punk bands, metal bands, rock bands, and even a techno band. I started off in a techno band called Cindy Lish and DJ Superloop, which is on YouTube. But back in the early, actually late 80s, early 90s, that was like my first band. My husband and I played in 3 different bands together. He has his own band now. And I thought I was done with music. I really just felt like, okay, that was a lot of years, maybe 15, 20 years of playing music. I think I'm good. And one day after class, Mike approached me and introduced himself, and he said, I heard you sing. Would you be interested in singing some harmonies? And I'll let you pick the story up from there.
Well, Cindy's a way better singer than I'll ever be. So it was more like, I'm looking for somebody to sing some of the songs I write. She came over, check out the studio and listen to some of the stuff I did, and I listened to some of her stuff, and we both liked each other's work a lot. Cindy's a really great writer and a really excellent singer. So we actually ended up doing almost all Cindy songs because Cindy's the most prolific writer I've ever met in my life. She can actually crank out a song a week easily, and it takes me about a year to crank out a song. So she's just totally amazing. And we started out doing more Americana country stuff, and then kind of moved into some rock stuff. Originally, we were working on this project. We were trying to get 25 songs done in a year, and we pretty much did.
Oh yeah.
While we were playing, I could tell Cindy really loved punk. That's like where her heart is. So we decided to focus on punk.
Having I have 18 and 19-year-old daughters, I need punk again. It's a really, when I met Mike and he said, do you want to come over and sing harmonies? I think it was like the day before I went over there, I was like, I feel like writing a song. It's really weird. I literally had no calluses, hadn't picked up a guitar, and wrote, I think it was Heel to Toe. Is that the song?
You just wrote that then?
Yeah, I wrote it like the day before I came over.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I was like, that was the first thing I had written, and I was like, wow, that felt really cathartic. Now I need to write another one, and I wrote Unbreakable.
I always thought those you had those.
No,
oh
no.
Amazing.
I literally hadn't picked up a guitar in like 6 or 7 years, and those were, and at one point I tried to get my kids to really want to love rock music, and I was one of the co-founders of the girls' rock camps in Missoula, and I made them come to, they went for like 5 years, and I taught them every instrument. They both had bands. They both totally had full bands when they were in 6th grade. Like shining moment was when my daughter Phoenix played to her 8th grade class, the whole, not to the 8th grade class, the whole school. And it was like one of those moments out of like a movie or something. But I had this, it's a guitar for 5-year-olds. It's a little acoustic nylon strings. It's easy to play. That's what I picked up. And that's what I wrote those first 2 songs on when Mike asked me to play. And then I was like, wow, I think I really need this again. So Mike and I have like a full Americana country album.
Mm-hmm.
We have a full
rock album. Rock/punk album.
Rock/punk album. Like how we did these songs was, Mike's a way better guitar player than I. I just write, and alone in a room. I've never jammed with someone. I don't even know how to jam with people. What I realize about myself is I'm not a musician, I'm just a songwriter. And so that's really what it is. And Mike, so I would show Mike the song, and then Mike would take that and just learn it and and play it better than me, and then lay down the guitar tracks, and then I would come in and put the vocals over the top, and then he would add bass tracks because he can play bass also. And then we used either electronic drums. I think you even played drums on one of the songs.
Yeah, well, we replaced those pretty quickly.
And we even had my husband come in and play drums on
Mhm.
one of them. But then one day it was kind of fun. I was at, and this is just how this whole project has come to me. And what's really fun about getting older and kind of being semi-retired, I still help out at the restaurant, but I have all this freedom, and I don't care. I don't care what anyone feels or thinks. I mean, I care. I care. That's not what I mean. I don't have to try to please anyone or be anyone. So I wasn't locked into a genre. I could write Mike was really cool about that. He was like, yeah, write whatever you want. And so I could express myself really freely, and that felt so good. And then also having this freedom and this time, more time, and I am still a practicing artist, and I kind of get to do art and music all day now and work out at the Y. Those are like my three jewels of my life.
Same here.
Mike had totally crushed this idea, which was Glimpses. And he started it off with this crazy, crazy, crazy guitar solo. And he had sent me, so he would like do all this work in his house, and then he'd bounce the track back to me, and then I'm listening to it for the first time at the good food store, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is epic. And I was actually laughing, and I was in the bulk section, and this guy tapped me on the shoulder, and he was like, hey, are you Cindy from Vera? Because I used to have this female duo rock band called Vera. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I just want to tell you, like, I'm a fan and I love your work. And I'm like, do you want to, he's like, are you still working on music? I'm like, I wasn't, but I met this guy at the Y. Now I am. And I was like, do you want to hear what we just did? And I put the earbuds in, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And I was like, do you play music? He's like, yeah, I play drums. I'm like, do you want to be our drummer? And he was like, yeah.
That's our drummer.
That's how we got Patrick. And then Patrick brought in his friend Sean to play bass. And so we just practiced last Sunday, and it was super, super fun. It's getting like better and better and louder and crazier. And then we have our first show at the Free Cycles. And we're going to be playing with 2 other punk bands, VTO, who've been around forever. Charlie, who plays guitar and sings for them, owns Big Dipper, and I've been friends with him since college. And then the other band, we're all in the Jay's Upstairs family. So Andy Smetanka and Jason McMacken, who owns Brasserie Port Rouge. So it's all friends that all went off and started businesses. All 3 of our bands are going to be playing, and that will be on Saturday, May 24th at Free Cycle. And that show will be 7 to 10. The whole show will be done by 10. We love an early show. I mean, most people do.
Totally. I mean, I've played music since I was 16 years old. I've played in a multitude of bands. One band, the first band I was in was a doom rock band called The Demon.
Yeah.
But I was in a band in Seattle for 20 years, and we played every weekend. And I got burned out on playing and had enough, and got into the sound business and basically said, I'm never going to play live again. And when Cindy and I first started, we both agreed we're not going to play live. We're just going to record. You know, we're just doing this for ourselves. We're never going to play live.
And what's been really challenging about it for both of us is it's harder to memorize things when you get older. Because, you know, it's just that neuroplasticity. I don't really know exactly, but it is really hard to memorize
That's
things.
why we work out.
Yeah, that's why we work
keep
out.
Keep our brains as healthy as possible.
Yeah, like my whole thing is feel it to heal it. And that's part of songwriting too. It's like I can feel something really deeply, and then I can express it. Mm-hmm. It's our human like nature to want to express our experience and make sense of our world. And we don't get, like, we get sort of trained out of that. We become self-conscious. I love, like, I have a teaching degree in art and a background in art as well. So it's like, I love working with like 6th graders. They're just still having fun. They're not self-conscious yet. And then when you get older, and that keeps going, and you go through these periods in your life where you're like, am I good enough? Or what do I want to say? And then you get to like around our age where you get to say whatever you want. And actually, you have this like liberation, and you kind of almost go back to that expression, that you know, how you felt when you were a child. It's like, you know, at one point Mike said like, yeah, I can't remember why you were saying that you want to do this, but you asked me like, why do you want to do this? I'm like, you know what? It makes me feel alive. We do it for ourselves. We do it for each other. And to me, why I play music and why this turned into a band is it's like my favorite way to hang out with people, to create something.
My second favorite way is working out at the Y.
Me too.
Because Carol and I, it's like our social life. I mean, it's crazy,
really
but we've met so many cool people here. When Cindy first looked in and said, oh, this will be easy, everybody's old. That was our first reaction too, because we saw people older than us.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, this will be easy. And man, it's not. And then gradually you you become part of that group, and it's everybody just helps each other out so much. And man, we've made so many friends here. I love this place.
It's so special.
It is.
It's so special. Kelly and Megan really push us to be stronger. Since I rejoined 2 years ago, I've lost 25 pounds. I've gained probably 10 pounds in muscle. My arms are totally defined. My stomach's like, I can't even believe how strong I am. This is probably the strongest I've ever been in my entire life. Last year, after doing this for a year, I made a goal to walk on my hands again, which I used to do when I was a kid.
I've seen you do it.
And I worked on my way up to that. And, you know, this place just keeps me young. But it's not even just that, it's the social part. It's like I brought a book for someone and the other day, and then she was like, oh, I don't actually need a book right now. And someone's like, I'll read it. And then I couldn't believe she brought it back like 2 days later. She's like, that was good. I'm like, what? It's like this thick. And she's like, that's what, when you're retired, you can just, you know, read a book. And I can come in, and this has actually happened many times where I'm like, you guys, I have this weird pain. And then someone's like, oh, have you tried acupuncture, you know, or whatever. And it's actually my resource for learning information about ailments and health and even wellness. Like I've had some really great talks with different Helen in there, and she helped me through a couple things. Oh. I went to therapy for EMDR to get rid of this dog fear, all because of the Y. The Y is a resource.
It's a community too. I mean, I've been to other Ys, and I think the Missoula Y is super special. It's really welcoming. I've been to some Ys where you had to sign up for. Bill and Carol. Well, Bill and Carol. Yeah.
I mean, no, like they're like they make it so welcoming.
But just even the classes. Another Y we went to, you have to sign up for the class online. They only allow so many people in there, and if you can't sign up quickly, you're out of luck. This Y, Kelly and Megan are like, come in, we'll make room for you, and
share weights,
and yeah, we'll share weights. If you don't have the weights, then grab your partners, and they it's because of them that the whole class emulates that, and it's really a great feeling. I mean, everybody that comes in, I think I always say hi to new people and talk to them a little bit,
and the more welcoming you are. It's
special. This is a special one.
It is.
I love Lucy too.
Lucy's a fabulous teacher.
We do 5 days a week starting Sundays, and her yoga class is.
She's one of the most. I've been doing yoga for like 30 years, no more than that, like 40 years, and she's probably one of the best yoga teachers in Missoula. And not to mention the view that we have is just stunning. Because I say to them like, you guys like changed my life. I said to Megan, like, you're responsible for my upper, because she really works out our upper arms,
shoulders,
and the shoulders,
coconut shoulders.
And then I say to Kelly, like, this is body by Kelly from here down, body by Megan here up. Like, you guys completely changed my body.
Yeah.
They're probably the reason we even feel like doing music.
Absolutely.
Because when you feel good, it makes you feel young and vibrant. I went to this house dance party the other night, like on Saturday night, and I was just popping and dropping, and people were like, how do you have knees that can do that? And I'm like, the Y. The YMCA. Like, and
I love the welcoming attitude of everybody.
When I came back and Bill and Carol were there, I actually like teared up. And I was like, do you guys realize the love that you pour into people as they walk in this door? It really lifts me up, and I'm like so touched. Just really special. There's just so many special people here, and it makes you want to get to know everyone.
Even better to talk to people. I mean, we love to go in, and Carol and I both go in and talk. it really is a community.
And that's like going to the Y in the morning was the only time I really talked to people.
Yeah. Well, it kind of is the only time we ever talk to people except for band practice, you know?
Yeah. So we love it here.